adehema me yɛda mo asese munya bretwe me yɛkɔto nkra ya bɛyɛ kasebɔ de to aso TV no do kasebɔ ɛna mo hwe enefie na ɛne yɛn kɔmatwetwe no ɛbɛfa ɛyɛ omensa na hene ɛyɛ finance minister brode omen akwambo bosika ɛyɛ budget no nsɛm kɔto dwa no ɔbɔ ne mahodo bebree so apomuden adwadie mfiridwuma enyinama hoden akwan kuayo kyesensɛm no dɔso na baako a bigidi sɛ ho behia sɛ yɛ ka ho asɛm omu sɛ ni nyina ho hia de na so baako a ɛka me no mie no tin direct no ɛyɛ adwadie de tete sa ne sɛ obi kɔfa ba ɛbɛtɔn na nso atɔ akofie anaso atɔ akɔkɔtɔn ama obi so atɔ akɔtɔn enti ɛyɛ chain ɛtɔtɔ so saa enti yɛ ka ho asɛm ne ade a ɛho hia yie pa na ɛnɛ yɛ ba hwɛ nneɛma hodo a sanahene ɛka yɛ ɛde fa adwadie ho ensamsam ho ɛtoɔ yɛ ade baako a ɔmɛma adwadifo akasa fa ho akyɛ yie pa sɛ ɛtoɔ ɛmmene wɔ mo enti ɔkɔfa nneɛma ba a wɔmutumi entua ɛtoɔ no na fe ayɛ ɔmoka ɛba ne sanso a na ama nneɛma no bɔ no ayɛ den ɛwɔ man yɛ mu enti amomudwetire ɛkɔfam ɛne nneɛma hodo bebree eti ɛnɛ yɛde adwene bɛkɔ adwadie ho yɛn fa nkɔ babia na yɛtumi ahwɛ na ɛnɛ yɛn sɛtumi a company fo mi no ofia me yedi sɛ yɛbɛda ɔma sesɛ onya brɛ bae pa dodi kan ɛyɛ dwomtenani ɛde ma ɔman mu adwumaye ɛyɛ adwadifo ko batan ɛyɛ gutafoɔ wɔn nyinaa dwomtenani a wɔ ɔman Ghana mu ɛyɛ Dr. Joseph Obin wɔno abɛka yɛn sɛ ofie ha ɛsan sɛ ɛyɛ adwadifo ko nti no ɔbɛbisi ɔmanan na budget nneɛma hodo ɛkɔ mu ɛne yɛkeka ka ho nyinaa 2019 deɛ no deɛ si yɛ 2020 deɛ abɛɛ nyinaa no yɛra so na ahwɛ sɛ nneɛma ɛkɔ sɛn ana Dr. Obin ɛwɔ me nkyɛn ɛwɔ asan so ɛna owura Samson Asaki Awungobet ai Asaki Awungobet ne din na Awungo no now there we Awungobet wono enso na executive secretary edema Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana womo de nema kwa manane ene womo kra de mafia manane ba no womo dwam tire na so twetwe for pani ene no ntino ye kra de ko ana ye kra ba e de bi ko
exactly
yeso ye to
na ye kra ba
sa yeso ye to na ya ton entino e complete adwade hyehyɛ ne yɛbɛka wasɛm ne anadwe abidwafo makɔ aba
yɛnia
Awungobet
sisi obayeda your friends bukumba ko ana
no na mania yewi me say bia bɔkɔ de
yo
ya radiator
atie for ina
the radiator
Ghana for che musu wonu mu kriwa mu hu say ene Friday mu nja me ne me peyi say yanko pewe bi ne ya ntetene ya dwum ye humi but they say yambra my Ghana ti ebeba me chair me lecture me economics lecture I am chair me kakra o te say me ba na by almost all the time they coaches me when I get back to campus say well this one you should have said this you should have said it there are people who are building our capacity for us nte lecture ata so team ya chair wono busian for ina Ayimrewe and my colleagues our Methodist University College Jobia
woman nyina agye so doc na bia bɔkɔ abusanfo no ho yɛ de e de radiase doc ma me hyase mfa emfiri wo so budget 2020 yɛhwɛ 2019 nneɛma hodo bɛ na ewo mu na adwadifo nanka isa musaka nneɛma bɛ na musaka yɛ wo de 2019 budget no nneɛma na adwadifo mo hwɛ kwansa musa betumi aka no ɛne 2020 budget ya bɛɛ no deɛ ma mo hwɛ kwansa musa betumi aka no wo de toto ho a improvement abam improvement memu a etisan kasa emadwadifo pa
yo me de base na menchia watifo say mo djuma dia mo ye wa ha dem say UTV no mo tifo do so pa
correct
e bia bebe bia wo ko ya say the whole Ghana bia be fro timo ya de
that's
no correct I say adwadie de ne fapema ne cost of doing business say a car will be bo. Na what here free wo jetria wo de kofa ne ma no nti de bia no ade bia fa a car e wa adwade ho no ade ehian pa nti say won say ye ready budget a won say ya ne wa pa so ya de ya ne ye hwehwe no ye taxes no na was 2019 hono na yesu na ne say your duties was so nti ye tu hwana mo bia ma abanti ya superma ye ma ya dia your friend Benjamin value reduction
bye
no ebeso ye mfi pa ye de ne ye duty reduction na as a common external tariff no abanti me anko duty ho nti we jetra wo de kofa ne ma no atem ye no ansa no atua to no tiano na ye de na ma abesi samre na wo hwa consistently no I'm say aban so born homodin e that regard because there be an argument in say omo mato emra form say be ya emu hinhan ya na obi etmetua tem say omo ba ye na no omo te aboso kan for spare parts for no taxes so na your transactions are na ye bank transfers to be na won home te tini na ti 2020 ana ye benchmark value reduction na abandema ye no na ekuo bi etigina se tintina chi omo percent ka yeyi sa values no efri ho nti ye ti sa manfo lobby no ye koi me angasa me nso me de input ekoi etre de hia so be maintain sa benchmark values no ema it make can be anti ye the reading budget na me wa atwen yimu say a benchmark value nsem beba ne bia ya maintain amami nti eno ba ya maintain ya mfiensa anka no na say ayade a ama gu ahome ama me ho atomi
ye 2019 ba na dwadifo na musupa se kamia se mudwetire hye ne maba ko benu miensa bi enko yi emfa amamu ama gota mu complain o ne ma hodo bebre meni akwa ne mu kra me se okra ba ma ye di nkomo ene nkrofo bi di nkomo a sese no obetumi asibu akasa mu adwadifo a mu didwa e o manga no ye gutafo no mu nyeba nyina atem din e de amamu a mu ho agogo mu pa e wo budget ya abayimu ana
also na te said na okase na edu tembi na yesu no it was a factors of trading and costing no edoso na exchange rate and so account nti bi on ma bo say exchange rate no cost we do things so was so tini na kafu ana ho yirayira na bi asa time so na banking crisis no so asa start na bi ujetri aloko kakra no nti no basa ni na kafu a wo say na wojo ho a enyi na eno na gradually so we share banking the medical crack and say wo sa benchmark value reduction maintain ma ye no the me say hu say aban atimi na ni wo so peso ye and say obetre etuo no nkwaban mu ono so ya na ehayen pa because ye na yetua to no yakoye kuma tide bia ye ka etuo no efua na ye de ahye yen nti yen so de bia ya disrede ne se nka etuo no emu no akwaba no mu betre na nka obia etua bi enu nti na ohwe a media budget wo mode petroleum taxes ba ye no yan shedan complain any talk tax because adwadifo ye use telephone pa de ye adwuma enso wohwe mu a o mamu na no dipa dodo na use telephones sa etuo nketenkete na ba ebebo ayi na ade a edi enyapa kese ne banking crisis no as I say ye move dodo na adwatre
akokudi ye beba ho na yahwe wo yaka se de mo eto ho de botumi aka se eyema eto mutua ne se na eye se aban so betre eto no mu no bibia momofo aso se aban entre mu nti ye beba no so so bisa se okwan be so no befa so atre mu amomu gidi se betumi aboa amamu atumi aheha mu na fe ye ba kasemu a no so kan wasa na me ko eye menua eye awingo beti so na me bisa ne se mo na mode niam kwa manone mo na mode niam ekra niam eba wo manmu mo na mo export mo import budget 2019 budget na mo how bi wo mu sa mo how wo mu a 2020 no budget address mo how no Samunio how be so dia 2020 budget you know e de how be abremu anase baby said da no e ho aneda.
Well, me that's it. So me senior man di kan no. The attorney say the 2020 budget na the hwenim say at least government, we were not looking forward for government to increase or introduce new tax at the port. Because we share all the sectors. Port is the, so far, no, the highest areas are introducing them in terms of tax component. Over AU, once the overca budget, no, or can AU, or he report to Parliament, the AU leave the 0.2 something, no. And then we hear mid-year budget review, or the get fund by. Now, ubisa minia paying senior man or tehano. First, no, didn't duty or the name about a free amano Ghana. So, you're not duty, maybe a calculating depending on what goods is bringing. If they're calculating 10% on the goods, now you use 17.5% VAT straight away, then you pay other administrative charges. But because they introduced get fund to be a stand on its own, no, it increased the cost of doing business at the port. Because he introduced the national health insurance to be on its own, no, it increased the cost of doing business at the port. Now, we were thinking that don't introduce new tax at the port, however, abolish the 2% special levy import. Mind you, you remember, say, 2017, we requested for the special levy to be abolished. Their first maiden budget, they abolished the 1% special levy, including other things. Then, in 2018 budget, when we were requesting, say, among abolish the special levy 2%, no, then the then deputy minister informed us, say, the Abai want to collect, or Abai person or just cry. Then, so in 2018, when they were reading 2019 budget, in November 2018, then they said that it will go off in July 2019. Mr. Obewaha. But what we saw in 2020 budget, the finance minister did not abolish the special levy 2%, but rather asked for an extension. I'm saying for 3 years or 5 years or so, that he's asking for the extension. Meaning, Abai on the promise also, because you promised that, and it was set in Parliament in 2019 budget when it was read in 2018 that in July the 2% special levy will go off. But now you came to Parliament, instead of to abolish it or even reduce it, maybe from 2%, you can reduce to 1%. You did not. You rather ask for an extension. Now there was
a hono na ankese sa levy no is 2.5%, you know. Na 2017
2%, not 2%.
Sorry, 2%, you know. Na 2017 ankese we say we etwemu. And the debate 2019, right?
Or in 2017 we requested for certain tax to be abolished. So on the special levy it is not 1%. It is 1 and 2. So that was why they abolished 1%. Now I cut 2%. So 2018, no, so the government want to collect small. But in 2019, when they were reading 2019 budget in November 2018, it was said clearly that next year, July, that is
2019, you know, and ka budget we no, and be free ho.
So we were expecting other a be free ho. And I said maybe say let's meet say win-win situation. 1% will remain. What is it? But he rather extend it.
Extend it for how many years?
I was 3 years or 5 years. Because it went with the fiscal something that he was also asking for the extension. Now, quite apart from that, the government also introduced certain policies as a matter of revenue to rake revenue. Then, from where I sit, I kicked against it and I said, whilst we didn't accept this thing in the previous government, one of them, any tax stamp. And I buy Omudiga can say the tax stamp bar, they are going to make more revenue. And then when the finance minister came to Parliament, on my head, I say, even with tax stamp, they are not making they are not making revenue. I buy say the cargo tracking with Weber. In fact, at some point, I and my senior man had a little battle. Not we didn't fight, but we had a battle argument in the media houses or in the media landscape. Because I feel that we agree, say, cargo tracker we will not take it. Then the government say, that is the way forward. My senior man accepted it. That's okay. If they accept it, but do you think, say, you will make the revenue from there, then the government pushes through. So at the end of the day, even government has the power, you have the security agency and whatever, they can use it on the people. But today, as you speak, when the finance minister came to Parliament with tax stamp, which you have put a burden on the business community, with cargo tracker note, which you have put another cost. They were incurring 2 costs. Paying here and paying abroad because say Mr. Beck of Fanny free amount no be calculate nota city na so new exporter no or no forwarder no he will charge him for doing additional work for him to generate the CTN number. So this were some of the things we were looking at. Okay, so a binary per se business, the business boom. What was the reason for reducing the benchmark values? In fact, which I even said it wasn't any mirror because Custom Management Act no, and not Custom Management Law that make custom to operate at the port no. Benchmark value is illegal, but just because the government needed money, so they were doing ways to say, okay, Ukofa I do way free amaneba, and we can say maybe $2. They have a way of verifying the price. Then they will come and tell, no, this is $25, but not $2. So they will tax you based on 25 and not $2. That is how the benchmark value came. Even though in April, when they give the benchmark value to us, I was part of my cinema, we jubilated. We said that was the best way, 50% and 30%. But along the line, the government is clever. When custom will take the rate, it's $20, they can make like 25 or 20.50%, then they will now deduct the 50% from there before they calculate the duty. So yes, one way or the other, yeah, the mamu, but yeah, jika.
Would you say budget here by ye no more cranium man, mamma deniama common on the number cranium bomb memono, and shada am mamo papana.
The attendants say they rather what the government did in just was it Wednesday, right? Wednesday, finance minister by parliament. What the government did is creating confusion in the minds of Ghanaians now, because Ghana need a China or come back a cotton name and unless they come January. But Ghana will say you can't back it. Then they need to say things must be increased at the go. But that's not it, because it will take effect the next calendar month. That is next year. Is that not it? Because Parliament must go through certain procedure to approve it, whether or to approve it or disapprove it. So, if come January next year, now we will turn the 2 series 50% of market. Now, come market is still 2 series 50%. Sir. What penny? Because the government didn't increase any tax. So why? But meanwhile, the government did not tell them that we were able to succeed in pushing our tax, introduce tax on the business community during mid-year budget review. Look at the tax component that was introduced during the mid-year budget review. Okay.
I'm going to show me what someone has seen be a major say, Brepa, near Fanama, Dr. Bis, Dr. B. Now, what can be a fatwa? Also, I can erase issue about tour, say tax stampy, a buy, and a fake cargo tracking system, a buy any in I buy it to me a meeting the tax target, meaning say, I buy no, I know the butter home. Monso su se monso eto amutua no esunti aban so obetremu dia ena mugina wa tu aban so obetremu okwan ben so no kiremu so obetremu na mo amoye adwadifo no so no mugini se okwan ben so ne se aban fa so edi tremu a ebebo amam so mo aheha mo
yo me da se the edicam pese me correct something say CTN no say mejitu Obia Wogana Abia me fight against
me no kasa kra
against a city. Me na me di animu ansa na woman na wo no kra no edimechi amia.
Yes okay.
Enti me so okasa obeye you the only thing is say ye twen ya che na aban so si nkete so obeye no o ma em say guta for concession bi em say no na ya na ono ne me wo achinjije kakra e wo ho no. Na now we question no that we can
na make a tour say ono e ka say o resist about a tour say okwan a aban fa so eje to na say o confuse Ghana for e wo to jeje ho e na muso na musu say muso to mutua no mumu nipa kuma bi ne tie enti mo kire mo enti no aban so obetremu enti mo ni age aban kire mo de man for tremu no o chirichi mo amotiase yie na se mo antiase na se motiase na so chirichi mo so a mo adwadifo no okwan be so na mo gidi se abafa so e de tre eto gi ni mo a ebeboa amenye eto bebere na eto afo ni adwadifo no mo aheha mo
so on say no say domestic tax collection 13% of GDP and omo de be call 20%. Meanwhile one to eto so one to what's one for new taxes biama this one for new taxes biama na say opeso free 13% ko 20% and say kwan ben na overpass so na say a try na say what na kwaben say nipa dodo any companies do say wo mun na atu ato ni bi no na no yesi hu enkonya bebre na eno na make say eniama bi wo ma wonso obia e consume bi te say entina ya talk tax say ya use telephone pa e adwuma and so talk tax by once said before ya nka ho asem because ya buta ni say obia no e betu ato ni bi na road levy no e ba yi and also no say e kacha obia use ya kwan obia e faka na petroleum tax de ya na empempin ya na ye kan say etuo so ma etuo no ne bo no eye den amanfo bebre fa kwatikwan edwane etuo ni tia no tubo say compliance no eni ho nti de edikan aban ebe simplify etuo na ankasa se bia be ye very easy na afi asaya affordable ebe ye fo na afi enhye kakra so ebebem ebo because ngofo be te say VAT kra say VAT no na national health insurance yenya yesika free and so enhye bia ni VAT so obi badwom a opa na oje VAT receipt na nipa na wo the thresholds bi aba VAT say we need that threshold na when you qualified to collect the VAT into abasa there's no parity into obi on ma or choice into okoto de na obetumi akase me de me nkoto bebia ye charge VAT eno kekani na no emwa ema etuo no akwaba na nkonti ye betumi ahwe a ye betumi ama a payment of VAT na angasa kra na aye prerequisite for so many incentives that you free VAT no to say obe enjoy free education you betumi akase recent VAT payments eno keka yam penye me bia be yensha obia no eni beje etuo etua ho na afin so no etuo no se me ka se be yefo na yetimi capture wo mo enim no o se ye won kofo bia enwumre ya ye ka sei eno omo no omo adwuma sorry omo ye adwuma night sankofo na ye nyi omo to stores ngete e wo outskirts ne ho ngeka na no omo ni formalized way a wo de be check omo nti esenke nya consumption tax bi ana say tax stamps bi se bia busumi bia so obi tua 30 cedis ade a enso e bia ni tua no so enye ya no na ya mfa wo mu na emra tasen since ye be ye na wo de ayi bi akoma ne se wonye akonta bi enti ne ayi ni wo de charge bi akoma ne se wo no assessment ni so utua se ade nipa no so ni akonta bi a ye chese sa assessment na de akoma no enti ye betimi a categorize ye edwadie no yeah, well, very formal one, the informal one, the tabletops and all that. It deserves say you be more faced reasonable amount to be on bit here. You bet me a capture sample for na bem. Yeah, no, Sanya Manaba. Ma yansu ye hotoye because yes aban maminka ba kon kan na you know aban yanka and so enyina pinti na sa tax exemption policy no one revise it enya because a yes, a tax exemption no a year woman their incentives woman de ma be a specialized area ne be a
new business
be investors two bonds a multinational be a words can no woman crown into ato e be do 5 years no afford up no ko e go ma was me the near be ba me de koye e be a hotel nti yes be a hotel so maybe a men air conditions ya de ba bo say e near na ko market no yakoton eti adenti ne mfa nhye bi se bia sade no crowd ba e se timi hit the intended purpose no ansa nti wo betua utua na say wo the year say purpose na you refund
na say amana introduced some time ago it didn't work
exactly if it didn't work then you abolish it because
that means say supervision na say for the year dan yadwuma
eti adenti na me metua to na bia company bi kwa wo ska say mo no ntua to eti de bia ban ya the targeter ubonso abeso ni na guaso yesu bebrebe ni na free sade no se to no kata bebre no bi etua na ban enya de onya na enkenye nipa 1.2 million no ani de bia ntia na
ya hweka to 20 million betua
exactly I know na I am me problem because yeah it is a total no it me
just to add to something then you come to what question you asked. Well, that was the reason why time I abandoned person will introduce you 3% flat rate. And me can catch on say the 3% flat rate should be for the retailers who cannot afford to employ a qualified, competent accountant to be able to do input and output. Okay? The same is the Obey company. Or you name a power hub. So such a person or qualified, competent accountant or to import duty at the porter, he pays input 70.5% VAT. The other thing or customer, then you should invoice 3% and bring it to Abai. So he should be able to collect his inputs that he paid upfront to Abai our portal. So at that time, we can say it is for all retail. Leave importers and distributors and wholesalers out. Because there are certain wholesalers and there are certain distributors. They are very big people who offer Nestle distributor. He's taken 10 million goods worth of goods. Offer Unilever distributor. He take goods worth of 10 million a month. What do I say? Those people have the capacity to employ a qualified, competent accountant to be able to do input and output. But for tabletop selling or kind of, those people know for
want to be in coffee.
For flat rate.
Want to be in coffee money.
To make it easy. So because of that, then we say, okay, if you will not do that, and then reduce the input tax that you collect at the port, maybe to 7% for them. That it was become problem. Now you bring 3% flat rate. Where is the revenue?
And the revenue, no, you said, to me, or so to be Cassicana, there's some day and one much on Muhu says, can I deal with the ready.
Oh, now say I buy it. Say finance about parliament or can there or so that one we don't want to go to that because that will leave those one to the politicians.
Okay,
we want to deal with the business issue. So we don't combine politicians.
We are crying.
What I'm trying to say is
that boarding and in a buying and so onion so yen say it will say a tona me chana ne boarding na misuno a den ye.
No, you know why we ask the government to reduce those tax at the port. Look, it will bring compliance. Amount for Mukasio, would you call Ghana Port Crampoa, but you these kind of taxes they introduce, or the Kotogo, it doesn't pay those things, or the Court Africa, it doesn't. So Mr. Obey or fan name of Fat Temaport. At the end of the day, they go to the market, he compete with those people. What did I say? And that was Ukai pass April. Vice President the guy can say, if you introduce benchmark values and you're not getting the volumes, you won't make the revenue. That is the truth. As we speak, import has dropped.
I think that maybe so. Yes, say she be crabama. They say oko ye ports a hold on. Say Ghana Ports Harbours Authority will be able to control just about 20% of cargo.
My brother, let the crowd. Maybe I think I wanted to even send it to my senior man to look at it. And we are me feel husband me saka salet no. Say 2nd December it should be implemented. They are telling say September. Now Mr. Ben took coin, but his team came. The Ghana Service Authority led a meeting with the GPH, Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, and the MPS. MPS by say they want to, they have about 2 years ago they were supposed to increase certain percentage for them, but they didn't. So look at their business, their investment now. They will make losses if they don't give them the increment. I think they were asking for 10% or so. I can't recollect the figures again. Then we said no. There were certain issues since they started the implementation. No, there were certain issues. One, abandoned issue directive said all containers must go to all containers should go to MPS or all containers in MPS should pay duties before they leave. Even at some point, Gapor self they tied Gapor hands behind them. Meanwhile, Ghana Port and Harbour Authority is the landlord. So your business, even in the original contract, no. You can't say, and I'm who signed the original contract. It was set clear that reefer container, because Gapor spent taxpayers' money to construct a dedicated reefer container yard. So it was said that reefer will be done by Gapor. Consolidated goods will be done by Gapor. That will go to Golden Jubilee. Then transit cargo will be done by Gapor. But when they started in July, and the GRA or the Minister of Finance or Minister of Transport, I don't know where the directive came, give the instruction that we must pay duty before container leave MPS. When Gapor came to take the containers there, it became a problem. Up to date,
more problem. Powers
up to date. So the for Mr. The most painful thing is that some they say, okay, what we put as stakeholders put no was the best, so they will go back and come. We never heard anything till to
say 20%
and now you're selling a say meeting with Dubai and I'm say they should go ahead to do the implementation without on the
you question be about corruption
the tour
na ye first cano you will catch a politics. I beg to differ. Your responsibility. Say your bench yourself, scar, ye tuano, you're putting into good use. Okay. A disincentive for us. So yes. So but say adia ye turn a jom normally a bia say street light you turn a jom bia 200 Ghana. Now you dey call akoto ama ban you turn 2000. For what? How many percentage this thing? Eti passa na a penisia bi na ya nso ani asa aswani na de ama ebi anipa fuwa bi no no kwa a supply na ye na say
akaso mutam no obi asumi na
kakra na ebi nkra no ebuo no kra ye reasonable say dey ye turn 200 na ebi a wo dey akwa bi a wo dey akwa 300 400 kra yet me the kwa kosim be ayi no e be say disincentive eti yan kra no ya ye adwen say ye be say in the next budget reading bia no ye better ye input akọ say wo mo emma page wo mo read budget ni na nwe no wo ntimi wo mo nya one page for value for money expenditure of whatever they are saying, how they are going to ensure that all this money that they've collected, there is going to be a value for money. There should be a page for you to account.
Mr. B,
there's no accounting. It's not fair.
Seriously. What can say about music? Some say banks are going to go in as if we among jetting wide in Papa. Finance Minister can be some year or can say National Development Bank. Baby, Eddie Abuamo. And Tibohan saying.
Yeah, liquidity in the system. Just people warehouses are full without sales because liquidity is low on a cash flow and all that. In the saying, so among for we copenisi kakra banker. This year investment so much. Like the government is saying, about 14 billion having been invested there. It should trickle down to the depositor to have unbranded. Oh, sorry. So bet me nisika consider biano embem. Tisa sadino anyone ma.
Sa for the banks here affect some power.
Oh, definitely. Because ama just ye kasi yentwa no e free sa cash from the liquidity issue.
Wow, to help is that to help doctor. On say first no. Or be free maybe boku. Or be free maybe yankwala or the nisika to but then the bank that was sprang up everywhere was GN Bank and was network to the second to Odu Makola no Kotonema or the second to Adicha bank na collapse
until nobody no be in
maybe over 20,000 you say Yabama only 10,000 can you imagine it now even the one who took over no say me a buyer can I say yeah okay so all the GN networks ni no because we got the certain districts level not bank behind and
then come on the pan now so brain nti e me ya papa minimum say you be say ba you be say ba debi ya ma no pa be ba nwumre okay what can no pete ma ma ha nwumre bio ya ma nwumre bio ma no pa kwa doctor be meda wase ayi go bet meda wase me din e de agya kwabena me ne akusa sapo na de kase bo no bra minimum say asem ye kai asem hia san say adwadie ye bibia o ma bia eno na ekura no say adwadifo esu a ye nyina na yesu say adwadifo sere so a ye nyina na yesere dwetre no kosoro a eboa me ne omienu nyina enti no ye beka ne agya bi kagya bi na brepam ne asan ba bio na oche be wuram ne betwe mpanyifo mienu asan betre bi ne nya bre pa ne ye bisa ne makoma kwa dosu kwa chire se na be ya e benya no pomasibre ye da mo nyina se mo nya bre na mo hwe ye ene anadwi koso hwe UTV it says all about you.